Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Schwartz and I am an attorney at the Flammia Elder Law Firm in Orlando, and I'm going to talk to you today a continuation of our previous videos about the probate process, but we're getting further along in the probate process, in these videos at least. In real life, this is playing out over a few months of time, but video-wise, this has only been a few minutes. So we talked about gathering assets, contacting an attorney to see what needs to be done, filing a probate estate, getting appointed as a personal representative, noticing creditors of the estate. So this is a few months of time period that's passed. And now let's say the 3-month creditor period has expired. What comes next? Oftentimes there is real estate involved in a probate estate, and it might be a homestead property. So this is a really technical area of what happens in the law. I'm going to give you an overview, and again, this is Florida law, so other states might be different. I'm going to give you an overview of what happens, but depending on the case, things might change. So this isn't set in stone. This is kind of a general overview of what happens. Homestead law in Florida is a whole big area of law that falls within probate and other areas of law as well. So homestead, you're often familiar with the term homestead just because there's tax benefits of homestead. So you own your house, you file for your homestead exemption, you get tax benefits. There's also constitutional protection in Florida specifically around homestead. So you've heard of celebrities probably moving to Florida. I grew up in Miami, and O.J. Simpson lived not too far away from my house, and he bought a house in Florida. And I don't know if he still owns it or not, but his homestead is protected because he lives in Florida. So other celebrities have come here as well. So with that homestead protection, there is creditor protection associated with that. So if you pass away and you leave your house to a lawful heir, which is a blood relative, spouse, children, blood relatives, that homestead exemption passes on to your loved ones, so your house is exempt from creditors. Now the IRS, your mortgage company, those are a whole different ballgame. We're talking about the creditors, maybe a medical bill or something like that. So we've gone through that notice to creditors 3-month time frame. Let's say there's $5,000 in credit card bills, medical bills. Now we get to the what happens to the house. So your homestead is creditor protected as long as you leave it to a lawful heir. So those bills don't come into play when we're talking about the house. A house is a big thing in probate because oftentimes there's the who's paying to maintain this house where we're caught up in this time frame of things. And unfortunately, sometimes this isn't good news, but the family, whoever is inheriting the house, becomes responsible. So if dad died and had 4 kids, and the house is going to all 4 kids, technically it's the responsibility of all 4 kids to equally pay the expenses of the house until we make it through this probate process. With homestead law in Florida, when your loved one died, so in this example, when dad died, the house automatically passed to the children. It's not caught up in the probate proceedings, but before you get the stamp showing that it's homestead protected, you have to wait through a time period. So it's a little confusing the way this works. Definitely something you want to talk to your attorney about for the specifics of your case. But to have a house determined homestead, the attorney has to file what's called a petition to determine homestead property. We don't want to do that until after the notice, the creditor time period, so that 3-month time period. So we've gone through this whole time frame. The family is paying the expenses of the house. They can have the house listed for sale, but the sale can't close until there's an order determining homestead. So again, a little bit complicated how things play out. I can draw you a little diagram. If you come into our office, I'll probably draw you a little picture. The creditor period is over. The attorney will file a petition to determine homestead, letting the court know that this is homestead property, that the people who are inheriting the house, the family members, they are blood relatives, lawful heirs of the decedent. So the homestead exemption continues through them. And then now it's just a matter of the judge signing an order to determine homestead. So the judge signs off, order to determine homestead, and then the house can be sold. And then, or if it's not sold, the house belongs to the family members. So again, complicated process, something you definitely want to talk to your attorney about. And next up, I'm going to talk about how to close the estate and wrap everything up. So stay tuned for the next video.